So you have a remote job and you want to travel, maybe you want to go on vacation, maybe you need to go somewhere for a family event really quick, and you don't really want to take on vacation or take on sick days, or you really can't. How do you take your remote job and travel somewhere without taking a day off? Now, for any remote job, you should set certain hours for when you work, like 8 to 4, 9 to 5, any hours you want. Any hours are comfortable with who you work for. Maybe you're doing freelancing or a full-time job, doesn't really matter. You should put in certain hours for work. Now, how can you travel? Maybe you have a family event or something or anything like that. How can you travel while still working? Now, I had a family event and I had to go somewhere and I had to still work. I think I took no days off, but I still worked. And how I did that was I worked these same hours. So when I worked on this one project and I worked the same hours. And what I did is I put everything around those hours. Now, let's put it in perspective of if you work from 9 to 5 and you have a family event and that's from 1 to 5 or so. So you work 9 to 5 and say it's, 5 hours away. You work 9 to 5 and then after, 5 o'clock, travel, drive to wherever you have to be, get a hotel, whatever, and then make sure where you're staying or where you are staying around there's like a Wi-Fi, like a Starbucks, not a Starbucks. I wouldn't work at a Starbucks all day round. In a I would say like a library, public library. Barnes and Noble is good. Hotel. I kind of doubt that any hotel's gonna have good internet for you to do conferences and um, webcam on Skype or Hangouts or anything, but a library or Barnes and Noble is usually really nice. They usually don't bother you. Um, so during the day, so if you have nothing planned until the night, just work your 9 to 5 at your hotel or any of those three that I mentioned. But if you have things planned from 1 o'clock to 5 and you usually work 9 to 5, tell who you're working with maybe a few days in advance and tell them, hey, I have this thing and I need to do it, and it's a family it's an emergency or something. They'll most likely understand and they'll tell you still need to work your 8 or 7 hours for the day, where you can break them up. So instead of working from 9 to 5, working from 9 to 11 and then 6 to 10 or something like that. You make them up that way. That's a great thing about remote work. Now, with that, it's very hard to get concentrated when you're traveling a lot. So your productivity is going to decrease by a little bit. But one thing that's really great is to get is those noise canceling headphones and just put them on and put on like some techno or classical music, something without singing, and just do your work and nothing will bother you. Dedicate a certain amount of time to doing your work and that's it. Don't be concentrated by TV. Don't put the TV on in the hotel room and do your work. Turn it off. Turn off everything. If you're with someone in a hotel room, like your wife or your husband or something, go to the library, put on some headphones or something, because they will distract you. You're in a small space together and they're going to distract you. I really recommend going out to another place where no one really knows you and put on your headphones and be busy. That's how you pretty much travel somewhere for an event or a emergency when you work remotely.